Hello.
Hello.
Is it me you're looking for? Probably people are watching this and are like,
if they're already.
Shut up. Why are you saying
Already?
like that? Okay, we're both looking down at our phones, and that's really annoying.
It's not us, it's you.
When
We're
people
just
do
trying
that,
to figure
it's
out
so
if it's
annoying
being shared.
when people do that. So
we apologize. Are you sharing it?
can you? I can't because you did it on the other
No.
page. Sorry.
What?
Maybe we should come back on and do it on our page.
No, I know. Oh, I was saying
That's
if it was
okay.
being shared.
I'll do it after. So that means that nobody's going to see this right now because it's on a page that nobody can have access to, because basically
Here we go.
whatever you're on your private page, you like, what is the percentage of people that actually see your stuff? Like 2% of the people who actually like your page get to see your business. And so we wanted to do this on our personal page, but we're not because
I just shared it.
Oh, now we can. Okay, good. All right, maybe you can tag me. Sorry, guys, we'll get it together. Hopefully we can edit this part out.
How does this work?
Yeah, I know, when we upload it. It's so annoying to try to figure out technology.
There it is.
Okay,
All
great.
right.
Super.
Now you can share.
I can't yet. That's okay. So, hello, welcome. If you're going to watch this on the replay, still make sure that when you're here, you put your love in the comments, because we want to be able to show you some love and talk with you. And today we're going to be, so basically for the month of February, it's Valentine's month. Okay. So if you have somebody, that's awesome. Hopefully you're in a happy, there's really only a few places you can be in a relationship. The first place is that you're not in a relationship and you're looking to get in one and think about how to be successful in one, or maybe you're in one and it sucks and you're
and you want
planning your exit strategy
out
with that person, or maybe you're not in one, you don't want one, you just want to take some time to yourself, or maybe you're in one and it's good and you want it to be even better. So we wanted to share our challenges. Why am I a relationship coach? Because I suck.
We have no challenges.
Yeah.
Our relationship is perfect, always.
I sucked at relationships. And so that is why I went on a mission to become a relationship coach, a relationship expert, ultimately, after decades of doing it, because I was so crappy at it. I really couldn't figure it out. And I always
not as far as you know, honey.
Yeah. Proof was in the pudding, honey. I ended up attracting people who were emotionally unavailable. I was engaging in all these behaviors that was really keeping love at a distance from me.
Yeah.
And many people misunderstand codependence. The reason that we're doing this in the month of February is because love is the one decision that you can make in your life that is the most important decision that you can make that will impact every other area of your life, is who you decide to go through your life with. That is the biggest decision that you'll make, because that person either supports and catapults you up and helps you, or you're dragging you down, right?
Yeah.
And so who you share your life with is so important. And people can pretend that success is more important or money is more important, but why do we chase?
Yeah, right, exactly.
things?
We're doing all that because we think it's going to make the relationship better. You're going to love me if I am successful. Yeah, some people think that.
So the reason that we're doing this series, and we're going to be doing it every week in the month of February, is because we're launching.
It's the month of love.
It is the month of love. And also there's a method to the madness. We're actually launching our online courses that are going to be live starting in March 5th. And the first course that we're going to do for a period of 4 weeks is on codependence and how to really break free from the cycle of codependence. We're going to break down what that is, how you understand your own relationship patterns and habits. If you want to join us in that course, we put the link up above. Make sure you do. For the first 10 people that sign up, I'm gifting you unlimited email access to me through the whole entire month of that course. That is huge. And also I know you're like, how the hell are you going to do that?
Yeah.
I'm going to do it. And for the first 10 people that sign up today, I'm also going to give.
This may be the last time that's offered as well, so take advantage of it, right?
We'll and for the other 10 people that sign up, they're going to get unlimited email access to me. That means the whole month of March during that live online course, you can ask me your questions and I'll answer them in email. And also you'll be entered into a raffle to receive a one-on-one session with me as well as a support component. So you really want to take advantage of that if you feel like you want to sign up for the course. And if you don't know, today we're going to reveal some of the who this course is for, why you would want to join us in it, and why it can really change your life. Codependency is one of the most misunderstood things in the world.
It's got it's almost like a dirty word, like you're codependent.
Cody, what do you think it is when you hear that word?
Well, there's a challenge, because one would argue there's a healthy codependence and an unhealthy codependence, and we can obviously talk about the framework of that. But when I hear the word codependent, I often think of that person who is unable to make their own decisions. They're constantly checking with the other person.
Right.
Like, oh, is this okay to do? Or, do you love
like
me?
Yes, exactly. That's what most people misunderstand about codependence, is they picture like some weak, needy person that can't tie their own shoes without permission. Now, yes, people pleasing is a piece of codependence, and needing constant approval is as well. But there is another whole side of codependence that might be keeping you stuck that you don't even realize is coming up for you. I'm going to be the guinea pig. I'm going to let you underneath the veil behind the velvet robe
and see how the hot dog is made.
My shit. So that you can go, oh, that's codependence. And then you can say, wow, all right, I think I might have some of the same symptoms. So Doug always jokes that I have multiple personalities, okay? Used to be called multiple personality disorder. Now it's called DID, dissociative identity disorder.
Well, now it's just called my wife.
It's true, okay? Why? Okay, here's the deal. How do my multiple personalities come up? It's not real multiple personalities, but it is in some ways. And how do they manifest in our marriage? And why does he feel like I'm a million people sometimes? And how is that impacting our relationship? And how do we keep it in check? And what do we do? And then if you can see yourself in this, then you can actually free yourself too. When you grow up, you're born in a family. You're born knowing how to love. You're born as a baby knowing how to trust. You just spent 9 months in the womb where you learned how to let go and let God. You knew your eyelashes were coming on time. Some of us need a little bit of help. But you knew your leg was going to grow. The vagina was going to happen. Whatever it was, right? You didn't question God.
That one didn't happen
and then
for
you're
me.
born. Yeah. And then you're born. And then humans take over. And then you're in for the ride of your life where you're taught how to love. If you're lucky, you go through the normal phases of development, right? You're dependent, you get your needs met. Things are good. People pick you up when you cry. They come to pay attention to you.
Or laugh at you.
If you're lucky, you go through dependence successfully, you move into independence, where you learn how to take care of yourself and meet your own needs. You feel safe to do that. Then you come to healthy codependence, which is interdependence. I need you and you need me. But if you had one of the pit stop to dysfunction town.
Exactly. You get stuck sometimes.
You get stuck.
Because it worked at one time.
In codependence.
Yeah.
And codependence is just a method, a way for you to meet your needs in childhood to get love. To either thrive, survive, connect, or cope, you became codependent. And what I call these are attachment personality patterns, also known as my multiple personalities. And my attachment personality patterns are the ways I set about to go about getting love. Now, unfortunately, my family dynamic was extremely dysfunctional. It didn't really set a good example. So I was like, oh, that's how you do love. One of the personalities I manifested.
And which, by the way,
on,
that's kind of. Have you met anyone who doesn't have a dysfunctional family? It's. So
I haven't because
yeah.
Because now two babies are born every second of every day to an addicted family. So the world's turning dysfunctional. But look, I'm not talking about dysfunctional family. Oh, that's cute. Your family, your mom worked too much. Honey, no. You know who I'm talking to? Your dad was an alcoholic. Your mom beat you. You have a narcissistic parent. You have somebody that really hurts you. You had a jacked up time in your childhood, and that has led to dysfunctional behavior or this personality pattern. So I'm not talking about like, oh, you know.
No, of course.
I'm talking about legitimate, in my mind, dysfunction, abuse, addiction, something that lent the hand to you not really understanding how to love and how to get your needs met because you had a crap example. Not to play the victim, but that's real.
Yeah.
That's real. Okay. So now how do we break free and really be ourselves and be loved unconditionally? The reason we take on the personality patterns is because we think we need them in order to be loved. One of the first ones that Doug was exposed to, my personality patterns, early in our relationship was testing Tessa. Do you remember her?
I do.
Okay, what does testing Tessa do? How does she behave? What's her modus of operation?
it was the way it manifested for you oftentimes was pushing me away to see if I was going to stay, to be harsh, to say things that were certainly going to be over the line, as it were. And to continue to do it, even when like I was just standing there, I'm like, I'm not going anywhere, to even keep doing it. And I don't even think necessarily you were aware some of the time that you were doing it.
No.
It was,
so that's the beauty. Thank you for assuming that about me. There were times I was aware of it and doing it, and times I wasn't.
You flat out said it.
Yeah, because you know what the magic is, guys? The reason that we're able to have this conversation is because I told him about testing Tessa. I had enough insight into my own behavior. Otherwise, he's not in on it. And it's just something that's happening to him. It's like you meet somebody that has all these different ways of going about getting love, and they're just like, they're not aware. And you might have this personality pattern too, but guess what? Your partner isn't aware that you have it. So what do they think it's about?
Well, and that's the thing too. It's sometimes when it comes out, like it may not come out when necessarily things are okay. It's when you're under stress. Maybe you're under some challenges. Maybe you've been drinking. Maybe you've been kind of losing some energy in where that is. So you're looking for some certainty. You're looking for certainty.
Yeah. So what that pattern is about power and control. And growing up in a dysfunctional environment, you might have felt like it's only a matter of time before people disappoint you, people leave you, you get rejected, you get abandonment. And a fear of abandonment is what's underneath that. Now, in my course that I'm going to teach in March, I'm going to unpack the personality patterns. There's 8 of them. We're only going to talk about a few of them today, but I'll unpack all of them for you so that you can see what is her greatest fear. What is her, how does she behave specifically? What exactly does she do? So that you can understand what's her positive intent? Why is she doing what she's doing? But and all 8 of them, but I'll just tell you today, testing Tessa wants desperately for somebody to stick around. Okay, but deep down in her core, she doesn't believe that she's enough. She doesn't believe that she has enough or she is enough. And so she wants to make sure, if I poke the bear, are you going to stick it out? And she'll say things like, I just want somebody who's stronger than me. I just want somebody who can step up, and poke and do whatever. Meanwhile, any human being under certain circumstances would say, I don't sign up for that. I'm not going to be able to bear with it. I think our transparency of me being able to communicate with him, knowing what I was doing when I was doing it, was very helpful to survive it.
Well, and when I say you told me, it wasn't necessarily that you were introspective at times. At first you weren't. Yeah. It was pretty much telling me like get out.
I'm breaking up with you.
I mean, it wasn't quite that extreme, but there were moments where it was like you were all out, like almost to say like you're going to leave me anyway. You're going to leave me anyway.
When you find out, here's really Tessa's fear. When you find out who I really am, you're going to leave. When the jig is going to be up, when you figure out that I'm fucked up, I'm broken, I'm damaged goods, I'm no good, you're going to abandon me like everybody else because at my core, I'm no good. Right. And that's what she fears. And isn't that sad? Because obviously we know you're wonderful, you're enough just the way that you are. But testing Tessa likes to come out and like poke and say, 9 times out of 10, though, she becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? So in the workshop, we're going to dig deeper into her. I want to talk about some of these in an overview way today because I know you're on a lunch break and we don't got a lot of time, okay? So when you sign up for the workshop, it's at nighttime and they're recorded. So if you miss them, I'll send you the recording, you can go back in. But another personality pattern that showed up and still shows up. Okay, I'm not perfect by any stretch. I'm dealing with, and the goal, by the way, of multiple attachment personality patterns, even if you had dissociative identity disorder, would be to integrate your personalities because they served you at one point. It wouldn't be to abandon the personalities or beat them into submission.
They're not bad.
They're not bad.
They served at one time.
They were a coping skill to be in your home environment, in your dysfunction. They served you well, but in your intimate relationships, they ain't working, honey. And so we need to learn how to honor them when they show up and know what it's really about. I'll give you another one, controlling Connie. You're laughing because you know her very well. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. So what do you want to say about that? Do you have anything to say about that?
Well, the when that comes up, it's also, again, all of these, by the way, are fear-based.
All of them.
So when that shows up, I do my best to understand what's going on and to find a way to give you that certainty that you're looking for, to give you that safety to know that it's going to be okay. And we all have it manifest in different ways.
Like you're not doing your part. Like, like, let's go. Like, what are you doing? It can show up as like, only I can do it. I'm the only person I can count on is me. Let me take control of this thing and ride it into the sunset. It's controlling. Connie does not like to partner with people.
Right. She
fears that if she partners, you're going to fuck it up. Well, I'm allowed to be swearing on this. I mean, it's my page. I'm allowed to do whatever how I want, but I don't want to swear too much. Okay. But,
so
yeah, fear of partnering up because you're going to screw it up. So I need to be in control of it.
And in retrospect, I remember one day Ellie went to school and she put on her jacket and it was itchy. And I got her another jacket and you saw the jacket on the thing and you texted, I should have just taken care. I got to say goodbye. I should have taken care of this myself. Like you sent her out.
Your voice in my
that's
text
how that was. It is.
That's
it was
how
like,
it sounds.
It does. Cause it was just like a couple of words. Like I should have done this myself.
Yes.
I should have. I'm like, I'm not completely like incompetent.
That's what he said. I'm not incompetent.
Like I got her another, that was itchy. Like she's not freezing. She just didn't take that particular, but the jump to that, I got to do everything myself. I can't, you can't do this.
Right. And so what controlling Connie believes is everybody else is incompetent. And the only person who can do it is her. And that's what she really thinks. And she's like, well, you can't do anything right. So why bother? Now, here's the thing about controlling Connie. She grew up in an environment where the only person she could count on was herself. And if she put stock in other people, they always let her down. She's very black or white. It's all the time. It's never supportive. So she's very black or white thinking. She has no middle ground, no gray, and she does not trust. She does not know how to trust people. She knows how to trust herself. She thinks she does, but ultimately she's always waiting for the other shoe to drop. She's always waiting for bad things to happen. So this is a codependency pattern that we talk about in our workshop and unpack. How do you control? Now, I'm going to give you a quick tip.
And also how to be on the receiving end.
What do you mean?
Well, what do you do when you're in the firing line?
Yeah, well, thank God for your side of it, because controlling Connie isn't somebody you're going to wrestle into submission. My job is to recognize when I'm being that person. And sometimes it takes a text back from him to use the word incompetent, where I say, yes, I know, I'm feeling like he's incompetent. And you know what I do in that moment? I don't rush to then pour my love and say, oh yeah, you're so competent, because I'm still controlling in that point. I'm still like wanting to like be in my shit or whatever it is. So controlling Connie, her job is to first learn that she can, where it stems from really? Not that she can't trust a man or a woman, is that she can't trust God. She can't even trust God. She actually feels like God has it out for her. Like everybody else has abundance, but it's not meant for her. Everybody else can have success, but not her. She really truly believes that she can't count on anything or anybody. So with her, it's about learning how to trust the universe, trust God, find her own sense of spirituality, her own thing that she can root down in to start to give up some of that control. Again, a pattern, like you said, when you're a kid, you needed to have it. You need to be in control. Bad things happened if you weren't in control.
Especially if you had that level of dysfunction where you couldn't trust the environment. You had to control it. Yeah.
I remember even when we were working together every day, like when you were we started the mornings at the treatment center with like club rehab when we worked together at the treatment center. And our DJ would be out and he'd have to DJ and I'd have to like police the music to make sure he played the appropriate things, or we'd be in a meeting and I wouldn't want him to raise his hand and say something because I'd be like, oh shit, what's he going to say? Are people going to like it? Is he going to be right? Because controlling Connie is so delusional, like she literally thinks that she's going to save the day and save you from embarrassing yourself. And she's a little bit like kind of a sister to Fixer Fran. Another personality.
And there's costs to that because that's also running your filter. That doesn't mean that I am
How am I gonna? And if he did say something stupid, who gives a shit?
Well, and also if you're controlling it and because mostly I said brilliant stuff, there's an assumption almost there that, if he does speak, it's going to be stupid. Just let him. Is that if you're sitting there going, oh no, don't say anything,
Yeah.
you know, there could be opportunities for growth, opportunities
Yes.
for, like as an
Yeah.
example, or I'm sure, I don't know if
That's totally
I
true.
could share with Frank's watching. So the first time Frank came and speak, and I'm like, hey, let's go ask Frank, go out to dinner. Like, no, don't, you just walked in here. You just met him. I'm like, no, just go.
Yeah, you do stuff like that. You'll
Yeah.
go out to people and you'll be like, oh yeah, you want to go to dinner? I'm like, you did. But yeah, that's your thing, and it works out, and we get friends that way because I'm a control freak. I feel like, you know, that's the controlling Connie that comes out. But I don't love her anymore. I mean, I love her because she served a purpose, but for me, she does work in certain situations. It's important that I retain her, but in my relationships, in my intimate relationships, it doesn't work. It doesn't work with our daughter. She's also teaching me how to let go more because I don't want to constrict her. I don't want to squash her spirit. I don't want to mush her into submission and be controlling over her. You know, my goal is for her to fan her flame, honey. Let her be free and be who she is. And so in order for me to fan her flame and let her be free, what do I need to be? You don't reproduce what you want. You reproduce who you are.
And that's such an interesting thing, is that with our children, it's almost like we have this balance of, obviously we have, safety and that kind of thing, but there's an element of almost creating conformism, and that's not necessarily healthy either. You know, the controlling conformism. No, this is what you have to do. And there's certain things that are appropriate, but if we don't allow people to be themselves, it's hurting us ultimately.
It is, because we're underestimating who they are.
Yeah.
And their ability to be brilliant, to play the music of their lives, to do whatever it is that they are destined to do. And who the hell are we to say we know better? We don't. We knew better in our addicted, alcoholic, abusive household. You know better, but it's easier to know better than somebody who doesn't know if it's raining or if it's Tuesday. It's easier to know better than somebody who's sleeping.
Pretty low bar.
Pretty low bar, honey. Like, I'm superior. Well, in that environment, probably they were sleeping half their life, you know? Yeah. I mean, so I'll tell you one that I work on still to this day, which is really hard for me, and I catch myself in it all the time. And again, you're going to learn more about these patterns whenever you sign up for the online course. It starts March 5th. There's plenty of time to sign up, but if you're one of the first 10 people who sign up for this course, I'm giving you unlimited email access to me for your questions and answers through the whole month of the course. It's Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. They are recorded. You can go back and listen to them. So sign up if this is resonating with you and you're saying, I'm doing this in my relationship and you want to stop. Why is it important to stop doing this? Because don't you want to be happy? The quality of your life is the quality of your relationships in your life. Mm-hmm. Don't fool yourself and think it's your money or your success. It's not. Money's great, but it's not. Again, money is the vehicle to what really matters most, which is who you're experiencing this ride with.
Well, and here's a challenge. Money is just energy. Not to go down this path too deep.
Well, we'll do it another time.
Yeah, but the idea is, if you're having these challenges and then you've got more money and all of that, all it's going to do is exasperate those challenges and make it even more intense.
Because your relationship is your relationship to money. Okay,
Yeah.
So this is money. We'll talk about it another time, because how you do one thing is how you do all things. And if you're codependent in your relationship with your lover, you're codependent in your relationship with you're a testing Tessa with money. You are controlling Connie with money. You're never going to experience the abundance you want unless you learn these personalities, how you line up, learn what they are, and learn how to work with them and bring them along with you. Stop being who you've needed to be and be who you really are instead. So one of the personality patterns that I wrestle with the most, it's been the hardest one in my entire life. It affects every area of my life. I don't know if you know this one. You know this one, but I don't know if you know what I'm going to say.
I'm not going to guess it.
But it'll be fun.
No.
Okay. Withholding Wendy. Withholding Wendy. Mm-hmm. So she's a sister to scorekeeping Sally. Okay. The minute that you stop getting what you think you need from somebody, or you feel like they're not doing their part, or they're not where they need to be, or they're not reading your mind of what you need them to be doing for you, you withhold from them affection, sex, time, attention, compliments, anything you can get your hands on, you'll withhold, because it's like there's a fear that if I give more than's being given to me right now, I lose. It's like a scorekeeper. There's winners and losers. So withholding Wendy wants to make sure she's going to get, so she gives, and it's safe to give because she's getting.
Well, and I see that showing up for you, just withholding from yourself. It's not even just from other environments. It's like not even taking care of yourself, not giving yourself the gift of self-care.
Here's when that happens.
Yeah.
And this is how this shows up. I will not give myself the gift of self-care until I earn it. Okay. Give me a heart if you can resonate with that. And so that's another adult child symptom, character trait, is that you feel like there's too much work to be done. I can't go take a bath. I can't get a massage. I can't take care of myself because I need to make sure there's work to do. There's stuff that needs to get done. And when you're a kid growing up in addiction and you see dad passed out or playing or acting crazy, and bills are not getting paid or things are not happening, you do not relate to fun. You do not relate to self-care. You conflate the issue of self-care with selfishness when there's other things that need to be done. So it's like, for me, I'll take a bath when I make the money, honey. I'll do what I need to do when I secure more of what I need to do. And that's bullshit, because what you're telling the universe is, I don't trust you. Like, if not just in my relationship withhold, imagine if I did that in my business. Well, I'll give when it's equal to flow. No, I give every week. I give. It's disproportionate to the amount I receive back in. Why do I do it? Because John Maxwell says consistency compounds. I keep putting out because I know eventually I will reap what I sow. It's not a scorekeeping game. It's a lesson of the seasons, right? You sow and you sow and you sow. In my marriage, if my husband is not capable in that moment of bringing 80% or bringing 50%, I don't expect that. I say, well, you can bring 20 and I can bring 80 right now.
It never happens.
Okay. Or I say, you can bring 70 and I can bring 30, or you can bring 90 and I can bring 10. But we give each other the space and leeway. And again, I'm not perfect at this. I sense myself doing it all the time. Well, you're being selfish over here, so I'm going to withhold over here so that you mind read. That's the goal, right?
But it's
withholding is so you mind read what I
made up.
Well, it is made up.
Yeah.
You want to tell us what you mean?
Well, just that mind read of, okay, the reason why you're doing blah, blah, blah is, and you write some story about why that is. And then you get like, well, then I'm not going to, support, give, be present or whatever. I'm just going to go, like, I'm going to then you shift into controlling Connie.
I'll just go get it done. I'll just go do it myself.
And then so it's that dance. This is why the multiple personality thing comes in, because it's a dance, because you go, one feeds the other, and then it's this whole, the truth is they're codependent with themselves, all of the parts.
They're all the parts. I know this can sound overwhelming. I know it can, when you're like, oh my God, I do that, and I'm Fixer Fran, or I'm Scorekeeping Sally, or I do all these things, and I want to tell you that I'm in a loving, beautiful relationship. I've managed to create. I can get really sad, because I'll tell you why. It's my mission and purpose to help people who have had this upbringing, because it really, at the end of the day, it's not being a victim, right? It's a truth. You were a victim of your circumstance. You didn't learn. You didn't know. You had the shit, man, come to you and pile on you, and abuse or addiction or dysfunction or all this craziness. And you're like, just like a little girl or a little boy who's like, I want to love too. I want it too. And I want to learn how to do it. And it can seem overwhelming but it's not. If I can figure it out, trust me when I tell you, if I can figure it out and have the family, the life, the mission, the purpose, the future, everything that I've been able to create out of all the things that I've overcome without getting into it, I know that you're in good hands. You're with the right person to help you through. I know for a fact that you're going to be in good hands. And it's what I like to do is, like in the course that I'm going to teach, I'm going to break it down so it's so simple. It's not overwhelming. It's going to be easy for you to get, because you deserve to have what it is that you want. Whether it's, you're staying too long in a relationship, and you need to leave because it's not working. You're trying everything and nothing's happening. So some of you are not going to come to this workshop to like be closer. Some of you are going to come to this workshop to get a permission slip to do what it is that you know that you need to do. right? Because part of codependence is ride or die, staying in there when you know it's not for you, you know?
And that's a challenge, because the only reason why people don't take those steps is the fear.
Because it's all about control.
Yeah.
Power and control. It's all about power and control. So this controlling Connie, this, you know, Patty Perfect was another one, you know, expecting everybody to live up to some kind of certain standards. If you do something, you have to do it well.
So then you don't try stuff until you're perfect at it.
Yeah, procrastination, paralysis, you know. So consider coming for this workshop, or not coming, you just come in your pajamas, right? It's online. So all you need to do is just come in. Suzanne, thank you. Speak my language. I know, because you're a sister, right? We're on the same path together. So when you can, how valuable do you think it is? You know, one of the biggest issues was like not being able to speak my truth, you know, not being able to feel like I can fully be myself in my relationships, right? Hiding different parts of myself with these other parts, right? The fear of being found out and being seen is not enough. How valuable do you think it is to have the insight?
It's a game changer. I mean, we're all on this path for self-awareness. And when you have that, and then the ability to express it, I've shared this with people before. I don't know if you remember the Everybody Loves Raymond. There was this one scene where Deborah was like freaking out and basically saying something along the lines of like, why do I have to tell you what I'm thinking? Or why do I have to tell you this is, what's going on with me? And his response was, so I'd know. And one of the gifts in a relationship is that ability. And obviously you need to have that sacred space where you could say it, but to have that, like that understanding, that conversation of here's what's going on, and that compassion and empathy where it's not, the codependence then ends up being fights. There are people who stay in relationships and it's built on those parts fighting with each other because they don't know any better. Yeah. So if you want to have a fulfilling relationship, first step, of course, is awareness. And then the second steps are the tools to address it, to do something about it, integrate all those parts.
The tools, exactly. So the first part of the course is going to be breaking down the 8 different personality patterns, what their objectives are, their positive intent, their fears, their weaknesses, all these different things. So you can say how, because you have to know who you've been behaving as in order to figure out who you really are, right? So, and
in a way that's loving and not like beating yourself up. No, it's not about that.
Because even when I'm, when these personalities show up today, it's not like I get, I say, oh God, I'm like withholding Wendy, right? Withholding Wendy, it's not about my partner. It's not even about him at all. Like we make it about our partner because it's convenient to put our shit on them and say, oh my God, you're doing this. You're making me feel this way. It's not. He's the mirror projecting back to me what it is within me that I'm needing to take a look at. Okay, not fix. I'm not broken, but but reflecting back to me what it is that I need to see. If I'm feeling there's a withholding because there's a lack coming in, a lack of abundance or whatever, that's my issue with trust, abundance, God. Lack, these things that I need to work on in myself so that I don't bring them and project them onto him.
Right. The old analogy is that you're holding on too much to that other story, to that control, to all of that you don't have the opportunity to receive. And it's that illusion.
Next week, we are going to talk about toxic femininity and toxic masculinity the following week after that. Because there's so much misinformation about what it means with feminine energy or masculine energy, or you're the man, you do this, you're the woman, you're supposed to do this, or it's just like, it's crazy. So we're going to dive into some of those. That'll be a fun one. Yeah.
Because I'm toxic.
You're toxic?
Yeah.
Oh, that's like a sexy song by Britney Spears. All right, guys, let's check in with your comments. I think that's all we want to talk about today. Make sure you sign up for the course. Again, the first 10 people that sign up, unlimited email access. Hello, that's huge for the whole month of March. The course starts March 5th. The sign up is here. There's one fee. It's the most cost-effective way for you to experience live coaching. It's 4 weeks of live coaching every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. If you can't be there live, it's recorded. It's $250 for the entire course. It's not $250 per class.
Yeah, we'll fix that if on Eventbrite. We'll fix it because I thought those were it's one time repeating things.
Just pick one. Yeah. Just pick one when it starts March 5th. It's $250. $250 for the entire 4 weeks. Okay. Plus, if you're one of the first 10, unlimited email access. So make sure that you sign up. I love you very much. Is there anything else that you want to say today?
No.
What is there comments? I appreciate you guys being here.
It might be
Maybe
because of the way we shared it. Usually we share from my page because it's syndicated.
Okay.
But
all right.
We love you for who you are and who you aren't. And we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.